Welcome back to All for United. We are live on a very, very special moment. I feel like this is even bigger than that first protest stream that we did about 18 months ago, where over 10,000 people joined us from around the world, came on, had their say from different parts of America, Canada. We had fans in Australia, different parts of the UK, basically come on and protest with us virtually against our ownership. I feel like this time there's more momentum. I like what the guys are doing. I like the fact that it's a collaborative effort, and I like the fact that we all feel like we're part of this. So what's the purpose of this stream? Why are you watching All for United? Well, we are going to try and bring you some footage live from Old Trafford as soon as we can. We've got a few of the guys there, but signal around Old Trafford, as a lot of the lads on here can vouch for, is shite. So we'll try our very best to get that footage, but we'll bring you the latest videos, the latest images, the lot. Plus, All for United regulars will be on, giving their verdict on the Glazer ownership, what they make of today, what they expect from today's game. And we want you guys to come on the show as well. I've put the link in the live chat. Come and join us on StreamYard. We can only get 10 in backstage at any time, so please just be a little bit patient and we'll get to as many of you as we can. First things first, Reese, you are the closest person to me. How significant does this feel today?
It's massive, isn't it? It's huge. It's I think, like you've just said, Ben, I think in terms of the reactions in the previous protests, it seemed like, you know, the energy was there and the anger was there, but really this one just seems different. I think the results coming with the animosity towards the owners in itself is like a double kind of whammy for them, really. That, you know, normally protests in the past over the last decade of, you know, the results have kind of been there, especially a decade ago, but obviously recently with the performances on the pitch and the personnel that we've got there, with the hatred that we've already got for the owners as well, it just seems like there's a double whammy with this one, and the fans are really kind of pissed off, really, and it's times come now where they want to show it. And there's this new age of fan. I think there's these fans that are growing up watching United as well. Haven't been sort of necessarily blessed with some of the football that probably we all saw when we were sort of growing up watching United, and they want change, and rightly so. We all want the same. So yeah, it just feels, I don't know why it feels different. It just does, and I think there's some realism to the possibility that this could end and that we could get new ownership, which is exciting as well. I think as well, you know, in terms of that. So yeah, it's hopefully exciting times going forward. Obviously, Casemiro's kind of crowbarred his way in to try and spoil the party a little bit, which, granted, you know, it's great to see a player of his stature join the club, but it's maybe going to be a little bit mad with the fact that the message today is Glazers out. So shame for him in one sense, but you know, we've got to stick with that message, haven't we, really?
100%. Jimbo, James, let me come down to you. Today feels pretty significant, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. For the first time ever, it feels like we're going into a protest with a united fan base. I think all the other protests, it's sort of been whose protest was best. You know, we're not supporting yours because we're running our own, this, that, and the other. But I think everyone's finally all getting behind one. I think it's probably going to be the biggest one. We'll see. Hopefully, you know, it's going to be a little bit embarrassing if sort of the people we expect to turn up don't turn up in terms of quantity. But yeah, absolutely. You know, the biggest game in English football, one of the biggest games in Europe. It's a good game to target. It was successful 2 seasons ago when they did it. So it's massive. And I think the timing is perfect because this is the first time there's ever been pressure on the Glazers, really, from non-United fans, from potential owners, from people who want to come and buy the club. So yeah, absolutely pivotal. But, you know, touching on what Reece said as well, it is funny that you can come full circle. We're planning this big sort of protest, and suddenly, oh, there's this new £60 million toy that we're going to get out in front of everyone, and you know, it'll work as well. That's the annoying thing. With a certain group of people, it will work. People will forget all about it. People will think, well, how can we be so annoyed when we've just spent £60 million on a 30-year-old? So that's the annoying thing. They know what they're doing. They know they're under pressure, and I hope that this unveiling of Casemiro is sort of a sign of they're on the back foot. They know they need to go defensive now. Yeah, that's all I've got to say.
It's interesting. There's some videos already coming through. I'll get some of them to you guys as soon as I can, and we'll get them on the stream. I just want to come over to some of your comments before we go to Connor. Phil John has joined us. Hey, Phil. Of course, this show's all about you guys. Get in the YouTube live chat. If you're not watching on YouTube, come over to YouTube. Go to All for United. Hit subscribe whilst you're there. Hit like on the video. Share the link. Come on, get your messages in, and we'll get you on the show in a bit as well. Phil John says there is no amount of players that they could purchase that would convince me that the Glazers should stay. I remember when they bought the club. If you can, honestly, purchase anything with debt. Mickey Dunn says, but remember, it's not their pocket. All these £100 million transfers that are coming out of, they're splashing big money, but the club is generating it. It's absolutely spot on. And Sporty Chatbox here says the move for Casemiro and rumoured further moves are simply an effort by the owners to deflect from this. Don't fall for it. Keep the pressure up and drive this lot out. Hashtag Glazers out. Look, it has to be said, we're doing this stream here, but I know the Football Terrace, United Stand, Stretford Paddock. There's loads of people out there doing streams today. Let's share that love. Hit like on those videos. Share these videos. If you're tweeting hashtag Glazers out, we're trending on Twitter, right? The more of these Manchester United protest streams we can get trending on YouTube, the more they'll be seen. YouTube is the biggest search engine on the internet. So let's get these videos seen far and wide as well. Connor, let me come over to you. Do you want to reflect on what the guys were saying? What do these protests mean for you today?
Yeah, and I will just add, on top of the Casemiro thing, we're going to have the United's Lioness trio as well. Mary Earps, Ella Toon, and Alessia Russo also on the pitch, which, I mean, it just, excuse my language, it's taking the piss, because those girls don't deserve that, because, you know, they deserve to have their moment in front of Old Trafford, you know, parading the European, obviously the Euros trophy like all the other Lioness girls have. So to bring them out today, they know what they're doing. They're not, I've said this all the time, the people that run this club are not stupid. They know exactly what they're doing. They know that people, right-minded people, when Casemiro comes out, when the three Lioness girls come out, they're not going to boo them, are they? They're not going to start chanting over the top of them, because it's not their fault. So they know exactly what they're doing. I said as soon as we were linked with Casemiro, I bet he gets walked out in front of like a Varane moment. That's what's going to happen. In terms of what to today mean, I really don't know, because obviously we had the ones off the back of the Super League. The thing with these protests is, we had this before. James mentioned, you know, it was successful against Liverpool last time. It was. And then it stopped, and the momentum died down, and it kind of really slowed up again. That's what can't happen this time. We've now got a viable buyer. People are now coming out saying that they're interested in buying the club and that kind of thing. It's keeping the momentum going, because we've been here so many times, but without a viable buyer. Now we've got that, so it's just about keeping it going. You know, I've seen some videos already. It's getting a little bit ugly in certain places, throwing you know bottles and things at buses going past. It's just, it will get out of hand, I personally think, because I don't think I've ever been to a process where it doesn't. You know, because that's just what happens when you get a lot of people and alcohol involved, when people are riled up. But yeah, ultimately, I hope it stays as peaceful as it can, and it gets the message across, because I don't know what else, you know, as fans we can do. You mentioned all the different channels that are live talking about it, all these different types of things. You're not going to get a bigger message than the biggest game in English football.
Yeah, let's go to some calls in a second. bit.ly/AFU Glazers out. The link is pinned on the YouTube page if you want to come on. Mohammed Rashid, I'm going to come to you. Tony, I'm going to come to you. Just hold on there 1 second. Does anyone want to, Connor, do you want to explain who Michael Knighton is and why this picture's doing the rounds at the moment?
Well, he was one of the ones that another rich man. He can't do it on his own, bless him. He needs a bit of help from a consortium or from Jim Ratcliffe or something like that. The very shortest answer: a rich man who could, you know, with the right people around him, buy Manchester United. So, you know, fair play to him. Fair play to him for turning. It'll be interesting to see who else is in and around Old Trafford as well, because I bet there's a few that are in and around that are sneaking, you know, past the press and so on.
Yeah, 100%. Well, look, let's come over to Mohammed, who's jumped in. Mohammed, if you want to unmute yourself, mate, go on. Look, the floor is yours. You can't be at Old Trafford today, so where in the world are you? And what do you want to say to our owners?
Well, I'm in Nigeria, and I don't know.
Oh, we lost him. He clearly saw James and thought, blimey, this is too much for me. Tony, let's come over to you, pal. You're right, mate. Whereabouts are you, Tony? Where do you live again? Oh, you might need to mute your stream, Tony. Might need to mute your stream, Tony.
Yeah, I'm all right.
Mute your stream and listen to me, Tony. Sorry, you've got your stream unmuted. It's like, do you know those football phone-ins when they can hear the radio at the same time? There you go, Tony.
That better?
That's better, mate. Go on. Whereabouts are you? And give me your
Is that
message for
better?
the ownership. Loads better.
Hello?
Oh, hello. Have you got me?
Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you. Can you not hear us? Oh, he's lost us. We'll come back to Tony. Mohammed, let's come back to you, pal. Come on. Tell us. Talk to us. We lost you. He's gone again. What are we Manny? Come on, Manny. Save us.
They can't all be that starstruck by James, surely not.
It can't all be...
yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, Manny. Thank you for saving the day. Thank you. Where are you from, mate? What are you up to?
Yeah, no bother. Yeah, no. I'm just tuning into the protests and all that type of thing. What I'm really happy is that even though we've signed these players and we've been linked to players, we still haven't really taken our eye off of the protest. Because normally last year when we signed Ronaldo, Sancho and Varane, we sort of kept quiet. But I think this time we're not really like that this time, and we're actually trying to achieve something a lot greater.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think people are less quiet right now, Manny?
I think it's just because the fact that the Glazers came out for the first time and actually started talking, so they may actually thought something maybe would change. But a year later, nothing really has changed. They promised stuff like stadium reinvestment and other stuff to help the managers, but it's never really happened, and we're pretty much in the same place as we were since Sir Alex Ferguson retired. So I think that's part of the motive.
I've got an interesting video here. So I don't know if you guys know, but the protests are starting at the Tollgate pub, which is a very popular United centric pub. And by the looks of it, the Liverpool bus has just gone past said pub. Someone's tweeted that this is now when the protests do actually start. Let me just double check that I have 100% put share audio on this so that I can play the full video to you. Yeah, I have. Right. There we go. Take a look at this. This was about 10, 15 minutes ago outside the Tollgate pub with the Liverpool coach going past. I mean, we apologise for the language. Of course, there is always going to be some objects thrown. We don't want it to get violent. We don't like to see that. But Manny, in terms of where we're at now, the turnout looks pretty good at the Tollgate, and I'm already seeing. I don't know if you saw the Casemiro walking into the ground a little bit earlier on. It does look like this one's going to be busy. So, do you think it is going to be a busy one, Manny?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's been organised after all, though, and when it's organised, I think there's a much better turnout than it would normally. And yeah, I did see Casemiro. It was actually very busy when I seen it. So yeah, that makes you think that there are going to be a lot of people. But I like how they did plan out the protest, because then we're going to see that's why you see so many people on these videos and all that type of thing. But hopefully it doesn't get to a level of violence. But it's good to see a big turnout towards the protest. So yeah, that's good.
100%. Manny, one last message to our owners. Go on, mate.
Glazers out.
Thank you, pal. Thank you for coming on. Stay in the live chat, won't you? I'll look out for you and share some more of your messages.
Yeah, sure. I'll be hanging around.
Cheers, pal. Thank you, Manny. All the best, mate. All the best. Go on, James. Final say from you. I know you've got to head off, mate. Is it going to stay peaceful? Are we going to get the biggest game in club football in a bit?
I hope it stays peaceful in a non-violent sense, but realistically, nothing gets sorted unless you do something like we did last time. Obviously, it was legally you're obliged to say it was unacceptable what happened last time, entering the pitch and everything, but it worked, didn't it? So keep it peaceful, not non-violent, but make your mark. Make sure you are heard. Make this count, because this is as good an opportunity as it gets, really.
And these are the scenes outside the Tollgate pub again about 10 minutes ago. The protest walk from the Tollgate to Old Trafford is happening at 7 p.m, by the way. That's when we'll see footage properly outside Old Trafford. But right now, as you can see, it's absolutely overflowing. James, thank you for jumping on as well, mate. Appreciate that.
Cheers. See you later.
Reese, Liverpool are the kings of a hostile welcome to a ground. We've seen it many a times in European football. How will they take some Mancs throwing beer at their windows?
They've not had a great start to the season, have they? So they're coming to a game where, over the recent couple of years, they've been obviously quite dominant, as we sadly know. So I don't think they're going to care too much, are they? Really, to be honest, you know, they'll. I think from our point of view, I think we want to see more of that aggression from the players rather than the fans. I think that the animosity and the aggression in the fans is never faltered. Really, I think it's in the players and the you know, the kind of soul that the players have lacked in these recent sort of exchanges with Liverpool, especially in the last game that we played. And that's what we want to see improve, and hopefully we'll see that today, and hopefully that vibe from the fans into the ground and into the players will see that. I mean, obviously whether there'll be enough fans in the ground to cast that message across, but hopefully the scenes outside the ground and around Manchester will be enough for the United players to pick up a little bit if the game commences and goes ahead. So I don't think Liverpool are going to mind. Liverpool are there to be shot at. The best team, arguably, up there with Man City. They're there to be shot at, and you know, Man Utd need to beat them. Man Utd need to get up to that level and compete, and that's what we want to be doing. So it's mixed messages today, isn't it? In terms of the message today, it's all about trying to get that message across to the Glazers and the owners, and trying to keep on with that from the fans' point of view. Obviously, it just happens. It's one of the biggest games, as Connor said, in the Premier League, and that's a shame, because obviously we want to stake a claim on the pitch as well. So there's a kind of a tandem there where we could be coming away a little disappointed in terms of the result in the game, but hopefully, like I say, with the fans casting this message out around the ground and around Manchester today, it should hopefully merge into the attitudes of the players, and we see a little bit of a better attitude from them. But yeah, it's a difficult one, Ben, isn't it? Like I say, Liverpool have been so dominant for so many years now, and we've been steadily declining. So we've got everything to prove, really.
There's loads of people with that as well. Loads of people talking about the game later. I think everyone's interested to see where that goes. Mickey Dunn here saying Klopp probably going to say the bus being pelted traumatised the team, so they underperformed. I mean, if the grass isn't too wet, then who knows? Guys, share this video, hit a like on it quickly. Over 500 of you watching right now. And of course, All for United is all about being heard. We want your voices on this show. If you join the link on the pinned message in the YouTube chat, you can come on live like Manny did a minute ago. Let's try and bring in Mohammed Rashid again. Mohammed, you're in Nigeria. Can you hear me? Can you hear us? Can you hear us? You might need to unmute.
Hello, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Go on. Give us your message to the Glazers quickly whilst you're there. We can hear you.
Yeah, I wanted to know your opinion on what the Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp said later on, that he demanded for 3 points if Manchester United fans protested. And I wanted to know your opinion about that.
I think he was more hinting at if the game gets called off again, which I can sort of semi-understand what he's saying. At the end of the day, it's not in Liverpool Football Club's power to be able to stop these protests happening, or for a football game to actually happen today. Whereas obviously last time the protests happened, there was a massive security breach before the Man United Liverpool game. They couldn't go ahead. Premier League rules, they managed to get the game rescheduled, but we've got such a tight fixture list this year. I just don't know how they're going to fit in a replay of this game if we were to do it again, unless it was going to be later on this week, which then we'll still see more protests. If anything, and I don't know if I speak for you guys, Connor, maybe I can go over to you on this one in a second. I think the way that these protests have been organised with this certain, obviously 1958 group, so much more peaceful. I think they're for the right cause. There's no mixed messaging, and I think ultimately what they're going to do is they're going to be loud and proud today outside Old Trafford. So I don't think we'll have those issues, but I can see kickoff being delayed potentially if no one's in the stands for 8 o'clock. Yeah. They might delay it a little bit. Let me go to Connor. See what Connor thinks. What do you think, Connor?
What, in terms of it being delayed?
In terms of it being delayed, if it doesn't go ahead, Liverpool to get the 3 points. What Klopp said, as Mohammed's just mentioned.
I mean, I don't expect it to get delayed. They can't. The Premier League won't allow that. And the thing is, I think we said this on last week's stream, or somebody said it. The Premier League have had a whole week to prepare for this, if not longer. They know exactly what is coming today, so I can't see them delay it in any way. No, the Super League protest kind of took them by surprise a little bit. Delaying that game. It'll be completely different today. Honestly, I really don't know how this is going to be. One, perceived, because it depends how peaceful it stays and what actually happens. I really don't know. This is every other protest, like the couple that we did just over a year ago. I kind of went, yeah, you can kind of see where this is going. Obviously, getting on the pitch was a bit of a surprise, but tonight I really don't know. Are people going to try and get on the pitch during the game? Like, is that going to be a thing? Like, what? I genuinely do not know how this is going to turn out. You know, I'm just watching it now. There's some people in the ground as you get, you always get your early ones in there, but it'll be interesting to see where this march takes. And like I said, ultimately, I just hope it stays peaceful and everything else. It's weird because I was thinking this before I came on. I'm more intrigued about this protest than I am about the game. I completely forgetting that there's a game on tonight because the focus is just on the protest. I mean, you just see it in that video there. For me, it's just that's what happens when you have riled up people and then throw a load of alcohol at the issue as well, personally. But there we are.
Yeah, let's just quickly listen in, shall we? Whilst we're here. Obviously, we apologise for the language. I mean, security, they're doing their job anyway, and to be honest, it's a couple of metal fences.
It's just a tame mosh pit, to be honest.
It's just a tame mosh pit. Jarvis Gog says the turnout for the protest is huge. Phil saying, I hope it really does stay peaceful. And then Lanzel just hitting home that there's a game tonight, like you said, Connor. Just seen elite lineup, not sure if it's correct, but McFred in the midfield apparently. #Glazers out. Oh dear. Come on, Mohammed, let me come back to you one last time, mate. Come on, your final message for the Glazers. The floor is yours.
Well, I just hope the game will go on peacefully, and I hope we'll have a win.
Fingers crossed, mate. Thank you for coming on from Nigeria. We can pin Nigeria on the map now. Fans that we've had on. Thank you, pal. Really appreciate you being there and jumping on with us. If you guys want to come on too, it's the bit.ly link in the pinned message on the YouTube chat. Henry, I've just semi-seen your hair, and now you've gone back to your avatar, but let's come over to you. Henry Butterworth, make sure your stream's muted, mate, because you're unmuted. Can you hear us, pal?
Hello.
Hello, mate. You're all right. Whereabouts are you?
I'm just in England.
Just southwest of England, lovely.
Yeah.
You're seeing these scenes. What do you make of it all so far?
Yeah, it's looking all right. There's a lot of people, which is good, and I'm hoping there'll be a few more, because it would be embarrassing if we ended up having a full stadium, wouldn't it? But I'm looking forward to hopefully cancelling the game.
You want the game cancelled?
Yeah, I think it would be a big statement.
Are you not worried about the repercussions for United from that point of view, or are you past the point of caring?
It's past that, isn't it? Look at us. We're already we've lost 6 points against two pretty rubbish teams. So I don't think top four's even in thought. So it would almost be better next season if we just didn't have if we didn't even have European football, to be honest.
Interesting. Does it not concern you though that instead of the message potentially being so-called Glazer out, which obviously everyone has sort of embraced and we've all become united about, that the media will only focus on the negative element, and that's that something's clearly happened within those protests to force the game to be postponed? Are you not worried that maybe changes the narrative a bit in the mainstream media world?
I get that side of it 100%. It's just, I don't know. I just feel like you've got to go full scale, do something big that really makes the Glazers think about selling, because we all know like what the Glazers have done. They're like, I think they're the only club in the Premier League that paid dividends to its shareholders, which is like just crazy, isn't it, when you think about it? So yeah. That's my opinion.
The more you think about it, the more you read about it, the more frustrated you get. Go on then, Henry. Your final message to the Glazers on this stream. Thank you for coming on, mate.
Just leave our club. That would be great.
Let us enjoy our football club again. No worries, mate. Get in the live chat. I'll look out for some of your comments. Thank you for jumping on, Henry. Southwest of England. Right, should we try Tony again? Tony, can you hear us? Nope, Tony's gone. That's a shame. Let's try Mo. Mo, can you hear us?
Yo, what's up?
Hey, mate. Whereabouts in the world are you?
I'm from the United Arab Emirates.
Oh, whereabouts in the UAE?
Dubai.
I lived in Dubai for 3 years, and I tell everyone that I meet that I lived in Dubai for 3 years. Just
Cheers,
because why
man.
not?
Cheers. That's pretty
Why
good. That's pretty
not?
good.
Have you
How
ever been
have you
down
managed to get that into a stream?
it's almost like I planned for Mo to come on. Are you part of the supporters club out there, Mo?
Yes, sir, I am.
Have you been down to watch any games?
Once when I was a kid, to be honest, but I did not have the pleasure to go recently.
So when I was out there, we used to go down to a bar called the Harvester. It was
Okay.
on Sheikh Zayed Road. Lovely group
Yes,
of
yes.
people, by the way. Lovely bunch. And when I was out there, I went down about 5 times. I can't remember. I only went down 5 times, and every time I went down there, we drew 0-0. So I thought, I'm not going to go again. I won't force my bad luck on these people. So I didn't go down. But yeah, lovely.
Well, I hope you
You
guys
don't mean Connor
realize
to leave? We
that-
can leave if you want to.
Yeah, sorry, Reece and Connor. So this isn't about Dubai, is it? Although
Hi, Mo.
I'd like to have some Dubai-based owners. That'd be all right. There's a bit of money in that.
That's what I
can't
was
believe
coming
it
to
was-
say, that I hope you
Go
guys
on, mate.
realize that since the Glazers out protest has been going, especially for today, there has been rumors within the royal families in Dubai that they want to buy Manchester United if it ever comes out for sale. So I'm looking forward to
Wow.
that.
Really?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Not just the UAE. There's also some in the KSA and Qatar. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, there's always been rumours when I was out there that the Dubai, because obviously the families in Abu Dhabi and the sheikhs in Abu Dhabi have stakeholds in different football clubs all around the world. But in
Yep,
terms
yep.
of the royal family in Dubai, there isn't necessarily a brand or a football club that they are tied to. And there were always rumours. I think at the time that I was out there, the big rumour was around Arsenal, actually. Yeah, but again, a lot of money. When you come to owners and investors from the UAE. But what do you make of it on the pitch at the moment, Mo? What do you make of it on the pitch at the moment? What do you make of it outside the stadium, let's say tonight, and some of the scenes you've seen? And what do you think these protests are going to do for us?
Honestly, I think it's a turning point for Manchester United fans and for Manchester United, because there was a protest last year, but it wasn't as big as today. Or maybe it might have been bigger. Honestly, I'm not sure. I wasn't there. But I think this is a turning point. I think we've had enough, and I think the Glazers know that we've had enough. And I think them unveiling Casemiro today is on purpose, obviously, because they want to take away the attention from the protest that is happening outside of the club. So I think it's a pretty positive thing. I just hope it stays peaceful and positive, and I hope nobody gets hurt. And I hope the game does not get cancelled. And if it does, I hope the media does not shift the blame to us, to be honest. That's all I have to say.
And your final message, Mo, to the Glazers?
Glazers out.
Yes, I like it. Mo, thank you for jumping on, keeping the live chat, mate. I'll look out for some of your comments. Reece, can you do me a favour, please, and just keep an eye out for the team news, and I'll give me a shout, because I'm not looking at my screen at the moment once we've got it.
It's literally just come out.
Oh, go on, give it to me.
Do you want to share my screen on the thing?
Okay. Can you share it? Go on then, yeah. Bring that up. Whilst you do, I'm gonna go through some of these comments. Stu Gott says the Glazers not going anywhere. They own United. Deal with it. No, you don't have to deal with it. Don't want them in. There's a number of reasons why there's so many fans that don't want them in. And if you've got 2 hours, we can chat about it. Hello to who else we got here? The life coach Josh is concerned. He says, sadly, this has gone for another 4 or 5 years. All this Glazers thinking of selling is rubbish to me. Again, we don't know, do we? But we can only speak up for what we feel is right. Go on, and what is that team? Let's have a look. So yes, Maguire's been dropped.
That's an attacking lineup, to be fair. So it's De Gea, Dalot, Varane, Martinez, Malacia, Ericsson and McTominay in the midfield, Sancho and Elanga out wide, I'd have thought, or unless Elanga's down the middle of Fernandes and Rashford. So it's who's up top, Elanga or Rashford?
Fred either. Yeah, no Fred either. No, and sorry, there's no Martial in there. He's on the bench. Ronaldo's on the bench. Interesting. I can't say. How are we lining up here, Reece? I don't have a clue.
I know. I'm looking at. I'm trying to figure it out. I hate it when they put it in numerical order. It's like it's just daft.
Sky have brought the graphic up as Rashford up top, Elanga out on the left, and Sancho on the right.
I mean, I don't know if Rashford's got something on all these managers coming in. He must have some pictures on these managers coming in, because how he keeps starting, I have no idea.
It's mad. What? And so McTominay holding, Ericsson and Bruno just in front. Then I'll take it. He's not going to play Ericsson holding again, surely not. And obviously the narrative of this is going to be Maguire drop, right? Again, you can call it drop, you can call it what you want, but when you get dropped, but David De Gea stays in goal, you've got an issue in the football club, and that is quite evident, because there is one player on that pitch who's playing today who was responsible for, you could argue, 3 goals last weekend, no matter who was around him. So that's where the issues are. Well, let's quickly bring in Marcus. Come on, Marcus, what do you make of that team? first and foremost?
I mean, it's interesting to say the least. I mean, my focus wasn't really around the team news today. I feel kind of flat because of everything that's going on at the club at the moment. I'm not going to lie, but yeah, it is interesting. McTominay back in the team. I don't know about that. I don't know if people are going to react quite well to that. Alanga into the team, but Rashford stays on again, like Reece said there. I just don't get the logic behind that. So it's just strange, and the fact that he's dropped Cristiano Ronaldo is quite brave as well. I think that's really Erik ten Hag trying to impose his personality on the team. But the issue is, like, we have such problems with squad depth that when you drop a couple of players, you have to start another, couple of players who should be dropped as well. We're kind of in that type of situation. So if he drops Fred, McTominay is probably still going to start. If he drops Maguire, people like De Gea, as you pointed out, are still going to have to start. So it's kind of a lose-lose situation for him,
Mm-hmm.
I think the difficulty is as well. I mean, every manager wants to make sure they get their signings and their players in well within pre-season, so that you can look at your team and you can make those kind of gambles. He's gambling with players and gambling with teams and methods and structures mid-season now, and it's just not the way you should be doing it. I mean, it's another kind of mix up. I mean, the lineup's pretty much, the formation is pretty much the same, but the personnel is a different format, a different set of players from it was last game and the game before that, and it's just a mess. He doesn't know his best 11, and that's scary when you don't know what your best team is.
But that is also why we need to buy best in class right now, because we have to. And by the way, Kotze hits this spot on. There's no goals in that lineup, and that is what's slightly concerning as well.
He's playing for a draw till 60 minutes, half time, 60 minutes, and then he's going to bring on a few changes. But it's a risky tactic against Liverpool, even at home.
Well, let's get back to the protest, shall we? And Marcus, you said you've been distracted today. Let's just listen into this quickly. They're getting ready to march now. I mean, Marcus, talk to us. What have you made of the scene so far?
Beautiful scenes. Listen, protesting isn't a nice thing, but under the circumstances, everybody knows why we got to do this. We got to push these owners out of the club, man. I think today's the day. I think for the first time in a long time, it feels like the Manchester United fan base is genuinely united. Even though there are still, a few people trying to cause a divide here and there on social media, I think the vast majority of Manchester United fans are together, and we all agree that the Glazers need to go. And it's beautiful to see people coming together, man. So whether you're an international fan, whether you're a match-going fan, everybody who's playing their part, I have massive respect for you, because at the end of the day, it would be very easy for us to make excuses and be like, well, the Glazers aren't going anywhere, so what's the point of protesting? Well, the Glazers, they own the club, so what's the point? But we need to keep fighting. We need to get them out of the football club. And I just hope that after this Liverpool game, whether we win, lose or draw, people aren't sat talking about Erik ten Hag and why he's picking certain players and diverting the attention again from what the real problem is. At least for the next couple of days, we need to stay focused on getting these guys out of our club, man. But yeah, I'm optimistic about it. It feels like something special is going to happen. Not just because we have a viable buyer, but also because I don't know, this protest, I'm pretty sure people have pointed it out before I came onto the show, but this protest feels a lot bigger than the ones last year. It feels like there's more unity and more of a presence. So hopefully it leads to something.
Yeah, let's bring in a caller, shall we? Someone's jumped in. If you want to jump in, you just need to go to our YouTube channel, search up All for United if you're watching on a different platform, and hit the bit.ly link. It's bit.ly/AFU Glazers out. David Rush, can you hear us, mate?
Yep.
Hey, mate, thank you for waiting patiently. Sorry about that.
That's fine.
What'd you make of these scenes? What do you make of it so far?
Awesome. I wish I were there, but I live in Yorkshire, so it's a bit far for me to get there.
Mate, Yorkshire's on the map now. There we go. We've got Yorkshire on the map.
All I can say is, we want our club back. We want our club back. I'm going to sing a different song, but you said don't swearing allowed, so...
I don't think we can stop the shit swearing, mate, to be quite honest with you. With some of the chants and some of the obviously the strong views. I've got another video here that I want to share with you, by the way. someone who I love communicating with on Twitter, is always sending us messages. He's really, really supportive as well. And he's always the face of any protest and the Red Army as well. Pete Boyle's just put this on Twitter. And you can really see as well, just look back, look at how far those crowds go. And shout out to Pete and all the guys as well, who I know are very instrumental in the singing section. And the Red Army are just, they're massive. Without the Red Army, Old Trafford wouldn't have any vocal cords, I don't think. They do such an amazing job. So well done to those guys. I'm just trying to get that video up now, but for some reason it's not sharing. Here we go. Hopefully this will work. There we go. Here they are. Right, there you go. And you can really see there if you go how far back that is. So they're on their way to Old Trafford. They're on their way to Old Trafford. It's happening. Hit like on this. Share the video. We're trying to get a live stream from Old Trafford, but Reece and Connor, you can vouch for this. The signal at Old Trafford's not good on the best of days, let alone when there's like 50,000 people there trying to protest.
No, it's terrible. It's terrible.
It's an absolute nightmare, but the scenes are good. There's a lot happening. Jarvis Cocker's jumped in saying, if we do this and get the Glazers out of our club, it will be my proudest moment as a Red Devil. Our fan base is finally united. Power to the people. What else have we got here? Let's have a look. I'm trying to scroll through some of these comments. If you guys, by the way, see any comments or videos, send them over to me so that we can get them up on the screen as well. Jason says new owners aren't going to change performances on the pitch. So what's the point? Does someone want to answer that? Does someone actually want to answer that? Go on, Marcus. Can you answer that one for me, please?
Yeah, I mean, new owners will change the performances on the pitch because number one, new owners won't renew contracts for players who don't deserve to be here. I mean, that's common sense. Number two, everything at Manchester United is genuinely because of our lack of ambition as a football club and what the owners have filtered from the top to the bottom. Like, you can talk about so many things. You can talk about the ethos, the lack of culture at the football club. Culture is important. I know some people think it's a buzzword, but if you go to work and you're not surrounded by people who you think are great, people who inspire you, people who make you feel like you want to go the extra mile, you're less likely to work hard. And that mindset filters through the organization. It's the same at a football club. If there is no culture, there is no ethos, there is no winning mentality, it's just kind of, everybody's here for a payday. It has bad long-term effects. You can talk about the wages. You can talk about the fact that certain players are still starting for Manchester United despite having numerous undeserved chances under previous managers. You can talk about the fact that we don't hire managers who play a similar play style so that there's a smooth transition from manager to manager as opposed to a new rebuild every single time a manager comes in. Like, there's so many holes you can poke in this argument. And I honestly, respectfully, I find it quite silly that people still don't see how a change of ownership will help Manchester United, especially if you're a United fan. If you're a rival fan, I get it. You're probably trolling, but come on, man. Come on.
United currently spend money that they've generated. The income that Manchester United spend is stuff that they've commercially made. That's the money United spend. And yes, that puts us in a fantastic position as a football club because we're making great money. But if you really think a club and a business like Manchester United couldn't make more money with right direction and the right ownership, then again, I think you're slightly kidding yourselves. I also think that if you have a look at the raw numbers, the amount of money that's come out of the club, how much has been reinvested in the club by a group of people that own it, that want to run a profitable business. It's sort of like, I sort of compare the Glazers nowadays to someone who bought a house about 10 years ago and settled. They just settled because they knew they were going to make a profit on it really in 10 years' time. That'll do. Yeah. I don't need to do anything to it. I know I'll make a bit of money on that because everything's going in the right direction. The right trajectory's there. That's all the Glazers are doing. They've taken over $1 billion out of this football club and put nothing back in. Whilst me and you, 50, 70, 80,000 people home and away constantly are investing in that football club. Yet the people at the top of it.
Can I just say something?
Go on, David.
I agree with what Marcus said about new owners will improve the squad because they'll get players in what the manager wants rather than players who are like fourth or fifth choice. And hopefully for the right prices as well, because I don't watch Dutch league, so I don't know if Anthony's any good. I've only heard of him from FIFA, but like 100 million is ridiculous on the player. We paid 80 million for Maguire, and he's about useful as a chocolate fire guard,
yeah,
or a concrete kite, as they say. So,
Yeah,
But
no,
I don't get right. I will let him buy leave to Marseille on loan, but we won't. But we want to reject Maguire going to Chelsea. I pack his bags for him. Never mind bloody hell else.
I'm just quickly putting the link for you guys to come and join in once again on YouTube. If you guys want to come and jump in, we'll stay live until about 7:30, and we'll of course get people to jump in. David, thank you for jumping in, mate. We're going to go and take some more calls. I appreciate it, though, mate.
Right,
enjoy the
you.
game and stay in the stay in the live chat, won't you? I'll look out for some of your messages. I'm trying to get more pictures. Apparently, I've had a text message from one of my friends saying that they literally can't get any signal whatsoever, which might also explain why there are hardly any videos and scenes at Old Trafford going online right now. I don't know. I sort of don't know what's happened there. But here's what Dan Sheldon put out just a little while ago. Again, this is fans just leaving Tollgate, the pub, and heading up the main road towards Old Trafford. It's all quite calm. We'll keep our eye out and we'll keep talking to guys who we know are there to see if they can jump in and obviously get some live scenes from Old Trafford. Hit the like button and also share the link as well. Connor, look, we talk about the difference the Glazer ownership will make when it comes to supporting the managers and the first team, but obviously you're an avid watcher of the younger sides, but also the women's team as well. How important is it that this club and this football club is structured to accommodate all levels that obviously is under our wingship?
Well, that's the thing. They want to go with this whole, all red, all equal, whatever the slogan is, one big United family. That's what it's supposed to be. But the weird thing is this summer is you can speak to who you want about this, you give you different opinions, but United women have actually made quite a lot of signings this summer and good signings as well. So it's a bit bizarre that obviously, they've had a really good summer and obviously the men's side now are just signing players because their backs against the wall. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we make a couple more at the end of the window. But it has to be this one club mentality. Now you look at, and I hate comparing it, look at what Man City have done. Moved the women, built the academy stadium, built a massive campus, over at the Etihad. They're all together. The academy, the women, the men, all play in the same campus. Whereas you've got us, we're kind of scattered all over the place over at Lee Sports Village, which don't get me wrong, is a good stadium in itself, but however many miles outside of Manchester. You talk about what the women's team had to endure, I guess, last year, why Casey left initially. The training conditions that they were put in, training out of port cabins and all these kinds of things. It's ridiculous. So, a new ownership would benefit the whole club, I feel. And it does feel like in the past when Jim Ratcliffe, I'm just going to use him as an example, when he was looking to buy Chelsea, that was one of the things he said initially, was incorporating the academy, the women's side and everything else. It is one club. People don't watch the academy, the women's side, fine, but it's still Manchester United, and I'll say that to anyone. So it would help, but it's about the structure, because there are differences. In the women's game, you don't need all of these different technical directors yet, because the game's just not at that level yet. But it will need it, and when it gets to that point, do we have faith in the Glazers to put their hand in the pocket to start? It's took them nearly a year just to get ahead of women's football, the exact title. That was announced back in early this year. It will take a couple of months. It only got announced, and it's still not in post now. So it takes all that time just to get on a level playing field, which shouldn't be the case. So, a new ownership, like as Marcus said, it helps on the pitch. It helps the whole club has a reset. The fans are a bit more positive. We're not fighting over that anymore. The stadium, everything, the Carrington, everything can get a brand new refresh, and that's just what the club needs.
Yeah, guys, make sure, by the way, subscribe to All for United and check out our All for United women's channel as well, All for United WFC. They're about 200 away from 1,000 subscribers, and that's 1,000 subscribers in 2 years of being up and running. And with how much the women game has grown, if you want to support Manchester United, and especially our ladies who have got the chance to have a brilliant season next year. Just missed out on Champions League this year. Hopefully next season we'll be having a tour of Europe once it's finished.
Can I just quickly say, Ben,
make sure you hit subscribe. Yeah, go on then. Very quickly. Very quickly.
Very quickly. It's great as well to see a lot of the women's channel viewers in the comments that I've seen of Mickey, Sport, all these kinds of people that have come across tonight. So that is fantastic. And we're live tomorrow on All for Night WFC.
Well, get them on. Get the guys on if they're about.
Lanzel, Mickey, Charlie, I can see you all in the comments. They've all got fantastic views, especially when it comes to the Glazers as well. So yeah, jump on.
Come and jump on, guys. Come and jump on. Our friends over at United Stand have just put out a little video as well, which I know that Mark will be okay with me sharing quickly, just because it's a nice view of them. They're at the back of, so to speak, the protest, and they're just walking up now. So this is what they've just put out. They're at the back, so as you can see that most of the fans are sort of congregated already in towards what would you call it? The court? The court? No, the court area, the courtyard. Would you call it a courtyard? I think so. Down by where the Holy Trinity is. You know what I'm talking about anyway. What do you make of the new red paint job, Reese? Have you seen it on the front of Old Trafford? They've decided to paint it.
Yeah, it was another attempt to troll Man Utd, wasn't it? When apparently we'd run out of paint. I don't know if that was true or not. Yeah, it was good. I thought they did a good job. Just did a better job than I do in my house, painting my walls. But no, look, it's just one of those things. Another attempt to snipe Man Utd, wasn't it, for a seemingly innocuous kind of like job that had to be done. I don't know. What do they want us to do? Like rebuild the outer parts of the stadium completely brand new every time we need to make it all shiny. Yeah, it was more from other fans, I think, wasn't it? And media outlets having a little snipe at us again. So.
Well, let's check out this video, shall we, quickly? This is a good shot. And you can see just as the fans coming through, there's the banner. From people on the ground, I've been told that they reckon there's between 10 and 15,000 who have marched and more were waiting at Old Trafford. The team's got in early, so there's no chance of the game getting cancelled, I don't think. But who knows? I haven't seen a shot yet from outside Old Trafford. I think they're all still making their way there.
Do you think there could be some sort of media, not ban, but do you think that they're probably preventing people from entering a certain zone around the stadium? Must presenting the ticket a little earlier then, maybe.
Yeah, I think maybe. I think so. Like, as I said, I've had a few friends who are there who've been texting me just saying that, like, yeah, signal's usually bad, but they literally can't even get on their phone. So I wonder if, you know what they do around these things. They can do a media blackout. They can do a telecoms blackout if they really wanted to. So who knows? Maybe they're doing that. And I think we all saw, didn't we? I don't know if you guys know this, but Sky Sports decided to start their coverage half an hour earlier today. They've pushed the coverage forward, so they are live from now. Yeah, look, you can see the green and gold smoke there as well. There's lots going on, guys. There's over 800 of you watching right now on YouTube. 10,000 have already been on this stream with us. Go on, smash a like on this, share it out, get your messages in. Let's do some more messages. And if you want to come and join us, come and jump in. bit.ly/AFU Glazers out. It's the pinned comment on the YouTube chat. Go and hit that and come over and have your say. You don't need to show your face, just audio. Give us your message to the Glazers. Eric says, Manchester United are the best club in the world. David K says, 1.2 billion spent by the Glazers. What? On what? That's the question. I've got some nice tethers, maybe. I don't know. Let's see what else we've got in here. Yeah, exactly that. William says, the Irish Reds are with you, or ye. The Irish Reds are with ye. I wish we had Joe just for that one comment. Dylan's a Liverpool fan. Dylan, I'll think about the game and cry in a little while. Hello to Peter says, I like the spirit. I'd like to be there. My voice to be heard. I say loud from here in Kenya. Well, look, Peter, come and jump on. Come and jump on. bit.ly/AFU Glazers out. There's a lot in the comments. I'm trying to keep up with them all, but there's loads of people sending messages. Simon says, keep up the good work, fans. We want our club back. And Joseph says, we are with you in spirit. Glazers out. 900 of you watching. Share the link. Hit a like. Get your message in the live chat right now. I'm going to go through as many as I can. McLovin, you have to make my day and subscribe to the channel, please. Time to get the Glazers out. Now or never. What else have we got? Green and gold until we are sold by... Connor, can you read that name out for me?
We're not going to move with that one.
Cheers, mate. Wilson Isaac says, "Good job, guys. Glazers out from Madagascar. From Madagascar from low key. Anti Glazers. Hashtag Glazers out." Mickey says, "Live from Ethiopia in Africa, we support you." Ree says, "Haven't United got quite a lot of the transfers? I don't know much about the situation, mate. This is 15 years of hurt. This ain't just about this summer." Hello to Axel, who says, "Why is this happening just before the Liverpool match? Couldn't have this been done later or earlier?" To be fair, there's been loads of protests recently. It's not just this one. Apparently, Connor, do you want to share that with? Do you want to just quickly share that? I've seen something.
Yeah, I've just seen a video that's just come onto my Twitter timeline. It potentially.
Can I also just say, with regards to that comment, like, if you're going to do a protest and you're going to try get owners out of your football club, you generally want it to be around the most covered games. Like, there's no point protesting in a Carabao Cup fixture that nobody cares about. So Liverpool versus Manchester United is the biggest fixture in probably world football. So you want to use that opportunity to get the media coverage that you can. I mean, I don't get why people.
Well, wait a second. We've just hit 1,000 people watching live right now on YouTube. If 1,000 of you can hit that subscribe button, that'd be wicked. If 1,000 of it, hit like if you want the Glazers out. Can someone just double check if we've now got 1,006 likes on this video? We should have. Let's bring on Stuart. You all right, mate?
How you doing, guys? You all right? I haven't got long.
Isn't it weird how you've jumped in at the time when we hit 1,000 people watching live? It's almost like they came for you.
What they did, and that's how it should always be.
Is this Stu reporting live from Old Trafford?
No, do you know something? I'm about to go and play. It's our regular Monday night thing, so I'm going to have a kick about. I just wanted to say.
By the way, can I, Stu, just before you go, just quickly say what you carry on talking about. I'm just going to show you all an aerial shot now of the protests whilst you talk.
Cool. I was just going to say, first of all, great work, lads. Everyone in the comment, great work. It's finally nice to see Man United fans coming together from all corners of the globe. It's a long time coming, but it's the right thing to do. Everyone knows my views on protesting. As long as it's peaceful, I'm all for it. So keep up the good work, guys. Just one quick one on the team. Flabbergasted. I'm a bit of a loss on to why Ten Hag's done that. I'm sure you guys have touched on it and will touch on it, but it needs it. It's got to be peaceful to protest. The game needs to go ahead. I agree with the sentiment of most people in the comments. The game needs to go ahead. It must go ahead. But I think it might be a long old night with that team. I don't know what you guys think. Connor, what do you think about the team, pal?
Yeah, like I said to you on WhatsApp, Stu, I think Eriksen's wasted in that. I bloody love Eriksen. I just think, no, I'm very, very worried. Not to be fair though, it's not like Ten Hag's got a million options to choose. But yeah, I'm worried about that midfield. Just very quickly, what I was going to say before you jumped onto it, looks like they're onto the Warwick Road now, so they are 5 minutes walk from Old Trafford.
Other thing I'll say quickly is no goals, is there? No goals in the team.
No, that's what we said earlier on. We had a comment in, didn't we, that said, where are the goals going to come from tonight? It's just, you've got all that creative ability in there with, Martinez, a ball playing centre back. Malacia loves getting forward. Dallow's meant to be amazing going forward, says everyone but me. And then you've got Eriksen, Bruno, Elanga, Sancho. Who's going to score you the goals today?
Yeah, very, very strange, very strange. But lads, I'm going to have to go. Keep up the good work. It's been a great show, great stream. Myself and Abdel, by the way, are going to be recording a tactical review of the game tomorrow. Ben, I don't know when it'll be out. If you can let everybody know once that's done. But no, thanks for having me on, Ben, and all the best, lads. Enjoy the game.
Nice one, mate. Cheers, Stu.
I should go back for half time. Take care, lads.
Bye, mate. Bye.
Bye.
It's a bit of a funny angle, that, but you can sort of see there. I think this is Warwick now, Connor. I think this video that I've just got through, because that's where Pete, I think, lives. So, yeah, interesting.
I'm trying to turn my head to see it, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to turn my head to watch it as well. Go on, Marcus. Talk to us about these scenes. And as Stu said there, the fan base does seem properly united tonight, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a strange time to be a Manchester United fan, because we should be excited. We should be, happy to play against Liverpool and hopeful that our team is going to win, and yet we are all united in this common cause to get the parasites out of our football club. So on the one hand, it's not very nice to not be talking about football. I myself, as many of you will know, genuinely I love talking about tactics. I love talking about the game. But yeah, man, today it's something that is bigger than just football. It's something that's bigger than just one result, and that's getting our club back, you know. And I would genuinely encourage anyone to just let off on the, oh, but you know, why aren't we talking about the game? You know, and I can sense that energy in the comments. There's some people who just want to talk about the game and don't want to talk about the Glazers, man. Allow it. Some things are more important than just a one-off game. So I really feel like we are on the cusp of something special, and we might look back on this season as a very historic season in Manchester United's history, not for footballing reasons, but because of what the fans are doing to get the ownership out of the club. And depending on who takes over, depending on whether it's Sir Jim Ratcliffe or potentially another buyer, we don't know. We'll see where this goes, man. But I'm optimistic. I've never been this optimistic about getting the owners out of the club, because it just feels special. You know, even though I'm not there, you can feel something special in the air.
I was just going to quickly say, earlier on we saw a bit of a shot of this banner. I was wondering, who are the faces on there? Well, of course, the one on the left is Sir Jim Ratcliffe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Next to the United sign.
Yeah, I mean, he'd be the perfect owner. You know,
yeah,
he would be perfect. I mean, somebody who doesn't really care about profit, and that's not just something people say because they want to believe he's one of those people. He actually is, because I believe he owns a stake in the Mercedes F1 team, and look at what they've been able to accomplish, and that's in a completely different sport. This is somebody who has more money than he knows what to do with, so I'm sure he's not in it for the profit. On top of that, he has a genuine passion for Manchester United, and even though he tried to buy Chelsea, I think now he's realized that there's an opportunity to potentially get involved with Manchester United. And this is only because of you guys, the fans. This is only because we have made ourselves vocal. This is only because we have made it clear that we don't want the Glazers in charge. Without that, you don't have anybody trying to buy a club. Like, there's no logical human being who walks up to a business that they know is not for sale and tries to buy it anyways without knowing that there's a reason as to why it might be possible. And that reason is because the fans have been pushing for so long. So everybody who's at the protest, whether, you know, and even the people who aren't at the protest, who've been like myself boycotting the club in other ways, I'm really proud of you guys, man, because this is a collective effort as a fan base. You know, if we pull this off, it's because of us and no one else, you know, because the Glazers are unwilling to sell, clearly, you know, evidently we got to force them out. So, you know, big up to everyone in the chat, big up to everyone who's at Old Trafford, big up to everyone, you know, trying to do something to get our football club back, man. Special scenes.
It's reached Old Trafford by the looks of this. Should we listen in slightly?
I think that's at the bottom end, isn't it?
It's been a year since I've been to Old Trafford, but I think that's the end of Talbot Road going onto the Warwick Road. Looking at, because that's the university, I believe, on the corner, and you can see Old Trafford cricket ground in the background.
Yeah, you can see the cricket ground there, can't you? It's just going to come up now.
It's a massive crowd. Massive.
It's about 10-15k. If you had to put a number on it, I'd say it's about 10 to 15,000. Just
that's
very
massive.
quickly as well, Marcus. You're exactly right. You know, when you're talking about the game tonight, like I said on the stream earlier on, I'm forgetting there's a game tonight. To me, this is what's happening tonight. It's the protest. That's all I can think about. Like I'm watching Sky now and just watching the talking, talk about the game and that kind of thing. I will say Old Trafford does look very empty at the moment. I know it fills up at quite a lot, very close to, you're talking a couple of minutes before kickoff usually. But, even for half an hour to go, it still is quite sparse. It'll be interesting to see how many of these fans can actually get in. I'm not saying that they're going to try and stand outside and not going, because obviously that wasn't the full message from this. But that many people trying to get through the turnstiles. If anyone's been to Old Trafford recently, turnstiles are not the easiest things to get through at Old Trafford, certainly at the moment. So if you've got 10, 15,000 trying to get in with 10, 15 minutes to go, it's going to be tough.
This is really kind, by the way. Thank you, Grant, who's just bigging you up there, Marcus. Thank you, Grant, and we appreciate that. A lot of people saying big up to you guys. McLovin's been big up to you guys. Honestly, guys, we just want to bring the fans together tonight. If you want to be heard, then please come and get involved. We're going to stay live for another 10, 15 minutes. Go to bit.ly/AFU Glazers out. You can talk on this show like me, Reese, Connor, and Marcus have been. We appreciate the super chat. That was really, really kind. But hit like on this video and hit subscribe. Fans around the world having their voices heard. That is all about what Manchester United is about. That's what all United is all about. So please come and join us regularly. We're live every couple of days. Thank you, Fresh Prince. just up to you guys. Proud to be United, says Derek. Scott's here's put, it's sad it's come to this, watching our club we love falling apart in front of our very eyes this season, and it does start at the top. It's time for them to go. Thank you, Scott in Salford, for getting in touch as well. So Bravo says Glazers out. And there's loads and loads going on here. Loads of comments to get through. Go on.
You know what's funny about the Glazers? Like, I've been thinking about this for a few days now, and I'm sure I'm not the first person to say this, but like, it would be so easy for them. Like, not now, obviously, because the fan base has gone beyond the point of return. But I think maybe 5 years ago, if they had hired a proper director of football and just got football people to take care of the football club, we wouldn't be in this situation. And you almost just laugh at how silly they've been. And I've heard people try to defend the Glazers saying, well, it's not the Glazers, but it's the people who were advising them. They didn't know any better. They didn't know Woodward wasn't a good CEO. It's like, man, so if I start a business and I hire a CEO who's, committing fraud, am I allowed to get away with it now because I didn't know, that he was? Come on, man. Like, ignorance is not an excuse.
I totally agree with Marcus in that respect, because I think for the most of the fans, and I think you're right in terms of timescales. I think now it's way above and beyond that. But I think a few years ago, if the Glazers had just come out and just showed a bit of compassion and addressed some of the fans in a public statement, a lot of the fans would have accepted them for that and seen some sort of level of understanding about how they were going to turn this around. They haven't done that. They've completely ignored the fans, ignored everything about the club, really, and then just turn up on the random occasions to watch a game, and then never turn up again, and never really address any of the issues. And I think even if they'd have done, I mean, obviously John Murter got cornered in a. Sorry, it wasn't John Murter. It was Richard Allen, one that got cornered in the pub, and by a few fans. And that was enough for half the fan base to suddenly feel compassion that, he was speaking the truth and get a little bit behind him. And that's all that they took, somebody to sort of kind of speak truthfully and speak from the heart. Yeah. And whether those things have actually come to fruition is another matter, but a lot of looking back at that now, you can think, well, was that another whole host of lies from a 4 or 5 month discussion that you had with those fans in that pub? But if the Glazers had just come out initially, like you say, 4 or 5 years ago, and addressed the fans in an open statement, a lot of the fans would have been like, fair enough, okay, they've had the balls to kind of address some of the issues. They've never even done that. That's a basic minimal amount of effort they could have put in, and shame, really, they've let it get to this stage. But yeah,
well, let's take another call, shall we? So can you hear us?
Yeah, I hear
you, mate. Thank you for jumping on. Whereabouts in the world are you, mate?
What?
Whereabouts are you? Whereabouts in the world are you?
Okay. Actually, I'm from Ethiopia. That's from Africa.
Lovely. Well, talk to us, mate.
I'm really great United fans, and I was also struggling in different medias about that the Glazers are out, just because I love my club, United. And just I appreciate all you guys that you are struggling against them. All the medians, YouTubers, and Facebook, Twitters, something I'm trying my best, and I see you guys how much you are stronger and how much you are struggling against them, and I'm really appreciative, and I always with you, and I don't know how I can describe it. But just I'm really happy when I'm seeing fans around the stadium. They are protesting against them, and they're just because they are not football professionals. They are a businessman, and they are just putting the money into their pocket and killing our best clubs, the best club in the world. And that's why how many fans they have United in the world. Every country, just when you go to every countries, and there is a lot of fans there, and they are just waiting something better from today to tomorrow, and then there's nothing do with the Glazers, and therefore we need to them out, and we need our original club, our superior clubs, and I think want to say thank you for you're struggling again at that bad non-football professionals, and I'm with you and thank you. Just I want to say this.
Thank you, Durso, mate. We appreciate that. And thank you for coming on and getting in the live chat as well. We appreciate it, mate. And all the way from, where you say you are, Ethiopia?
Yeah, I'm from Ethiopia. Yeah.
Look at that. We've had so many calls in today. We've got so many people on from so many different parts of the world. We're all united, pal. And this is what this stream's all about, being heard. We couldn't be at Old Trafford today. So here's the platform. Here's the place to do it. So thank you, mate. Appreciate you. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, that's why even in my city when I'm living here, even in DSTV, if there is no United players, the DSTV are closed. Do you know how much fans are here? And I'm really, really proud of to be United fans, and that's why I'm really just sometimes when your club is not performing good, you feel just you didn't get something special for you, and that is the feeling how you support your clubs. And I'm really happy. Even Gold Mark. Do you know Mark?
I called him Silver Mark, but yeah, I'm with you. Mark Goldbridge, yeah, he's a good friend of ours.
Yeah, I'm following his YouTube, and everything about United is not I cannot wait for an hour or 2 hours without seeing news about United. Do you know that? And it makes, especially at this time, it makes me just nervous. Do you know? Just I want to hear everything about United, and I'm going like that way, and that's why I'm joining here with you. Thank you.
Well, thank you, mate. Take it easy. Thank you for jumping on. We've got about 10 minutes left, so we'll see you back in the live chat, mate. Appreciate you. Thank you for that. I just want to quickly play you guys this video quickly. Check this out. I think this shows the scale of the protest. It's a recording from somewhere, but there we go.
That's massive. By the way, just off topic, there's a video of Cristiano Ronaldo greeting Roy Keane and Gary Neville, and he completely ignores Jamie Carragher and just walks away to go warm up.
Wouldn't we all?
I thought that was funny.
Anyone else wondering what this interview is going to be in a couple of weeks' time that is going to give? It's all a little bit strange, isn't it, with everything that's going on in and around Ronaldo and United at the moment. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I want to get a couple more guys. Come on, put your final comments in the live chat. We'll read some more of them out. Reece, let me come to you first of all with final thoughts. What do you make of the little we've seen today? We've tried to get a couple on last time with the last protest. We managed to get a couple of live streams in, but unfortunately, Signal just wasn't doing it for us today. But from what you've seen, given the enormity of the occasion today against Liverpool, what are your final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, just a big well done to the fans that are making their way out there. Obviously, not everybody can be there, and for the ones that have turned up, there's a massive showing, and fair play to the ones that have gone out there and shown the support to the message, which is obviously Glazers out. We're all behind it. Just a big thank you as well to everybody that's in the stream and in the chat. Because I mean, we've hit 1,200 views live at one point today. That's just massive for us as well. So big support for us and everybody that's kind of getting together and supporting. So it's just big messages. Just stay united in terms of, I know it's cliche, but stay together. Stay positive on the message. In terms of the football, aside from the message of Glazers out, we've got to kind of detach that from that message really, and not punish the manager and punish the players for a separate message. And whatever result happens today is a big game, regardless of the situation that we're in. We've just got to take every step as it comes, because there's potentially Ten Hag's going to do his thing. So we've got to back the manager, back some of the players that are coming in potentially, and obviously Glazers out will run its course. But again, a big well done to the fans that have turned up outside Old Trafford tonight, because it's not easy to do what those guys have done, but unbelievable showing. So fair play.
I've just seen the video, by the way, of Ronaldo blanking Carragher, and
Yeah,
it is painful. Absolutely painful.
I want to watch that.
Doc United, Barry, how you doing, mate? Hope you're all right, pal. Hayden says, time to get these snakes out. They've been bleeding us dry for too long. Danny says, we need an influential voice to lead this campaign. Someone like a legendary former player or a celebrity. To be fair, everyone's starting to speak up more, and I think that's why we're all a little bit more positive and united going into these protests, because there isn't a bias or a certain chemistry towards the Glazers that's dragging certain fans away from the bigger picture and the actual real life scenario that's being played out here as to why we all want these parasites out of the club. It's as simple as that. Dave said Glazers out. There's quite a few people here sending messages in. I'm trying to get through a few of them, but whilst I do, Connor, let me come over to you for your final say. What have you made of all this today, mate?
Sorry, is that a question to me? I'm kind
Yeah,
of. I was half listening. So, if people are watching the Sky broadcast, the United 4 now Lionesses are being interviewed by Jamie and Gary and so on. So I was just listening to what they had to say on there. I don't quite know how I feel about that, because they were supposed to be paraded out, whatever. But at least they've got some moment. On Sky being interviewed, and that's great exposure. In terms of today, it looks good. It's like, I'm not too sure, because there's not been that much. It's hard to judge because there's not been that much footage compared to last time. If you remember when I was on it, Ben, do you remember the stream we did a year ago? There were so many videos all the time. Like, it was so, you could see what was going on. But today it's been...
The weird thing is, though, if you do look at the pictures that we have got, Connor, sorry to butt in, it looks like it's been really well attended. Like, really well attended. But there's nothing really out there at the moment about it, which is really, really odd. It sort of feels like we're all in a little bubble.
Yeah, it is bizarre. This whole day for me has been really bizarre. Like, when me and Mark were talking a second ago, I'm it's only just dawned on me, oh, we're playing Liverpool in 15 minutes. Like, it's baffling to me that, I'm watching the 4 Lioness girls now getting interviewed on Sky Sports. We're playing Liverpool in 15 minutes, yet the only thing I'm focusing on, obviously, is the ownership and the protests that are going on outside. Old Trafford is filling up quite a lot now, so I can imagine, obviously, the protest is there and people have started going in, because it's looking, fairly full now, or for this kind of time before kickoff. So hopefully it works. As Marcus said earlier, it seems for the first time fan base is getting together. But like I said at the start of this show, that this can't be the one just because it's Liverpool. Then that's it. Then a few hashtags start trending again. No, I'd keep them going. Every home game, I'd keep these going, because otherwise, what's the point? You have one big one. The Glazers will be like waking up tomorrow. It's not going to make a difference. You've got to keep it moving, because if they, let's say, I won't rant on for too long, but let's say they announce Anthony mid next week, fans' tolerance will start to get a little bit, and it will start getting a little bit better. And people, if we beat Liverpool tonight, Anthony gets announced on Wednesday, people go, oh, well, we can maybe see him ride it out, and the momentum's gone, and we're back where we were a year ago, where we had the momentum and it stopped. So that's all I would say, that people need to keep the pressure going, because that is the only way this is ever going to work. Now, people can say, oh, what can the fans do? The biggest game right now in world football, and argue that however you want, it's being heard, and be heard, the All United line there, but that's what it needs to be. So yeah, it's been positive from what I've seen so far. Let's see how the next kind of 10-15 minutes go leading up to kickoff. But the last thing I say, like you've said before, subscribe to All United WFC if you can. There's been a lot of people watching. We're live tomorrow again. So if you want some content on the women's team, like I said, it's all one club. Please check that channel out as well.
I've just double checked. We're on 423 likes. Come on, surely we can hit 500. There's over 500 of you watching right now. Come on, smash a like on this video quickly. Give it a quick share. Subscribe to the channel. Surely we can do 500 likes on this video. Come on, hit like. Would love to get 500 likes on this. Loads of you in the live chat. Thank you all for playing such a big part in this. A massive thanks to Reese and Connor, who stayed on throughout all of it. Marcus, thank you for jumping in as well, pal. Let's hear your final thoughts on today's actions, because actions do speak louder than words. And I feel like today has been an evening of action.
Yeah, actions do speak louder than words. And honestly, I feel like people, whilst the vast majority of people are very positive, optimistic, and are trying their best to do at least something to try protest against the club, there is still a minority of fans who are still being negative. You know, you see it in the chat with some of them saying, oh, the Glazers will never sell, the Glazers will never do this, the Glazers will never do that. Well, at the end of the day, like, I don't know whether people are doing it to be edgy or not, but if you genuinely believe that, then the Glazers have won. So you're not doing anything. You're not contributing anything positive to the Manchester United fan base. And if that genuinely makes you feel okay inside, then maybe you're part of the problem. You know, I think people need to wake up and realize that fans do have power, and you don't need to look that far. Just go look at the La Liga. Look at what the Valencia fans did to get their owners out when they protested and virtually left the stadium completely empty for an entire game of football. Look at what AC Milan fans and Inter Milan fans did. You know, there's so many examples throughout history of fans forcing owners out, or at least forcing owners to change their ways and actually structure the football club properly. So, you know, it is possible to get the Glazers out. Never let anybody tell you otherwise. And also, can I just say one last thing as well? People need to learn to stop shooting down other people's platforms. I've seen so many people, whether it's influencers or content creators, go onto someone else's platform and be like, why aren't you talking about this? Why aren't you talking about that? I mean, somebody did it in the chat a few minutes ago. Why don't we have a celebrity or a figurehead leading the protest? Why don't you lead the protest? Why don't you be the figurehead? Why don't you build your own platform? Why don't you use your own voice? Don't ask other people to fight your struggle for you. That's a terrible way to live your life. And that's a weak mindset. You'll never get anywhere in life with that. You'll be disappointed. There will be people who won't talk about the Glazers and will benefit once the Glazers are gone. That's just the way the world works. There's some people who are employed by the Glazers and they can't speak out because they've got a family to feed, you know, and you've got to respect that. There's also fans out there who don't care about the Glazers, who are just going to go watch the game tonight. You have to respect that. As much as you don't like it, you have to respect it. But do your part. Don't be that guy who's always shooting down other people's platforms and other people's sort of ways of dealing with things, you know? That stuff really pisses me off. But other than that, I've got nothing else to say. I think if these players have any bit of shame about them and they're looking at what's happening around them and what's happening at the football club, they'll put in a good performance tonight. And if they don't, that just shows even more than we already know about their character. Like I don't know what more these players want. You know, is there any bigger motivation to go out there and put a good performance in against Liverpool? You know, but yeah, I've got nothing else to say. Those are my final thoughts.
The Liverpool fans are all wearing Glazer masks with a big banner saying Glazers in. You just knew you could rely on the Liverpool fans, couldn't you? Hey, thank you, Warren. Thank you for providing the live feedback on the protest. Yeah, sorry that we didn't have more live stream on my footage. There was literally nothing that we could get hold of, and as I said, we had fans there, and hopefully we can put some more videos up later. All for United. Go and give us a follow on Twitter and all the other platforms. And of course, Reese, you're going to be live tonight, right? Straight after the game. On Spaces.
Yeah, we're going to do a Spaces reaction to the game. Hopefully, some positive results to discuss, but we will see. So fingers crossed on that one. Yeah, going to do a Twitter Spaces just after the game. So shortly after, so about 10 o'clock.
Thank you, mate. Cheers for that. Well, look, All for United on Twitter. Get involved with the Spaces after the game. Enjoy the game. Fingers crossed we beat the Scousers today, because I think then that would end actually a pretty good day for Manchester United. Let's keep banging the drum. We want the Glazers out. We want our club back. Over $1 billion taken out, nothing put in. Awful facilities at Carrington that haven't been updated in years. Old Trafford rotting with a little paint job to try and put a little bit of glitter onto this sack of shit that's there at the moment. It's not good enough. We're Manchester United. We deserve more and we deserve better, whilst we put in love. Just infinite. There's a word in there somewhere. Whilst we put all our love into this club, we want some owners that spread some love back as well. So please make sure you keep banging that Glazers out drum. Get the hashtag on Twitter. We're going to get going. 400 of you watching right now. Hit like. Come on, let's get this video to 500 likes, and also make sure you hit subscribe too.
Can I say one last thing? Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Whatever you people do, don't drink the Kool-Aid. When we announce Anthony, okay, and we go on a little winning streak, don't drink the Kool-Aid. Don't forget what the problem is at this football club, okay? Please.
Keep the pressure up. I agree. Thank you, guys. Take it easy. We'll speak to you all soon. Make sure you do like and subscribe. Bye for now.